At 3 a.m., you stumble into the bathroom half asleep to answer nature's call. Fuzzy with sleep, you raise the lid and position yourself over the toilet. Suddenly, a splash interrupts the silence. Flipping on the light, you're met with the gaze of a rat peering back at you from the bowl. From that moment on, everything changes. Tales of creatures lurking in urban sewers have long fueled frightening narratives, with one popular story involving baby alligators flushed down toilets and growing to monstrous sizes in the depths below, often associated with New York City. Though this notion is false, while alligators and crocodiles have been found in New York, they typically don't survive long due to the cold. However, encountering a rodent inches away from sensitive areas of your body is a different kind of horror, one that's entirely feasible. The drain pipes of toilets are typically 3 inches or wider, providing ample room for rats to climb. Drawn by the allure of undigested food and sewage lines, these creatures can navigate through pipes and emerge into your bathroom. And yes, rats can be quite aggressive upon completing their aquatic journey. In one instance in Petersburg, Virginia, in 1999, a rat bit a woman on the rear. In Seattle, the problem is prevalent enough that public officials offer advice on how to handle such encounters: close the lid and flush. For years, children in and around Staten Island thrilled each other with tales of Cropsy, a sinister figure said to inhabit the woods and prey on unsuspecting youngsters, leaving a trail of fear in his wake. Parents likely reassured their children that such a creature was merely a figment of imagination. Yet, Cropsy's existence wasn't merely folklore. In 1987, Andre Rand faced trial and conviction for child abduction, shedding light on a potentially darker truth. Rand's name surfaced in connection with a series of child disappearances during the 1970s, with ties to Willowbrook, a now-defunct mental institution where he had once been employed. While Rand denies involvement in other cases, his shadow looms large over the whispered tales that gripped the community. In Toronto, there's a tale that inevitably circulates among residents, recounting the unusual habit of a lawyer who delighted in demonstrating the strength of his office windows by charging into them at full speed. This eccentric pastime met a tragic end when Gary Hoy, a senior partner in a local law firm situated on the 24th floor, took his daredevil act to the extreme. On July 9, 1993, while attempting to impress a group of visiting law students, Hoy's repeated attempts finally shattered the window, leading to his fatal fall. In a poignant eulogy, managing partner Peter Lowers honored Hoy as one of the best and brightest within the firm, highlighting both his professional prowess and the unfortunate end to his life. Vacationing couples, newlyweds, and even Disneyland guests have all unwittingly found themselves part of a chilling urban legend involving hotel stays gone horribly wrong. The tale unfolds with occupants drifting into peaceful slumber, only to be jolted awake by a putrid odor emanating from beneath the bed or within the mattress itself. Upon investigation, the horrifying truth is revealed. A corpse has been concealed within the room, likely not a victim of natural causes. This macabre narrative isn't merely fiction. It has manifested in reality numerous times. Over a dozen newspaper accounts have documented instances where hotel rooms became makeshift body disposal sites. Despite the telltale stench often being immediate, one couple, for instance, unwittingly slept atop a mattress housing a deceased individual in Atlantic City in 1999. Similar cases have been reported in Colorado, Florida, and Virginia. In a particularly harrowing incident in 2010, guests at a budget lodge in Memphis made a gruesome discovery. They had been resting above the remains of Sony Millbrook, a missing person. An attempt to mask the odor was made by stuffing fabric softener into the ceiling tiles. Shockingly, at least 3 other occupants had rented the room following Millbrook's disappearance. Ultimately, the courts convicted Millbrook's boyfriend, Lakeith Moody, of the heinous crime For years, visitors to central Maine's North Pond area found themselves perplexed by the disappearance of various items: batteries, food from cabins, flashlights from camping tents, among others. Speculations swirled that a mysterious figure, perhaps a permanent resident of the wilderness, was scavenging for necessities and supplies. As it turned out, the rumors held truth. Christopher Knight had been living alone in the woods for an astonishing 27 years, silently observing the comings and goings of hikers, canoeists, and other temporary inhabitants of the area. In 2013, when confronted by a game warden, Knight confessed to an average of about 40 thefts per year. Despite likely skepticism from family and friends who brushed off tales of a hermit dwelling in the woods, Knight's revelation confirmed that someone had indeed been watching and waiting for nearly 3 decades. The film Candyman, first released in 1992 and reimagined in 2021, draws its chilling narrative from a short story by Clive Barker. It revolves around the vengeful spirit of a black artist, portrayed by Tony Todd, murdered in the 1890s for his relationship with a white woman. While the notion of summoning him by uttering his name in a mirror is purely fictional, the terrifying concept of a killer bursting through a medicine cabinet is rooted in reality. In a chilling incident reported by the Chicago Reader in 1987, Ruth McCoy, a resident of a Chicago housing project, placed a frantic call to 911, claiming she was under attack in her apartment. Tragically, responders discovered her lifeless body, victim to gunshot wounds. Investigators pieced together that her assailants had breached her unit by breaking through the connecting wall of the adjacent apartment and entering through her medicine cabinet. Shockingly, the apartment complex had been designed with this feature intentionally, allowing plumbers investigating leaks easy access to the pipes. Regrettably, this architectural quirk became a common point of entry for burglars, and in McCoy's case, for her murderers. You may have received warnings from concerned parents or friends about individuals impersonating police officers, exploiting the perceived authority to prey on unsuspecting victims. While instances of individuals in full patrol uniform or using marked vehicles for such purposes are rare, documented cases of assailants posing as law enforcement do exist. For example, in Bloomington, Illinois, a man employed flashing lights to pull over a vehicle. Upon approaching the vehicle, he attempted unsuccessfully to overpower the driver before they managed to escape. Similarly, in Fayetteville, Georgia, a man dressed in a uniform stopped a teenage boy on a bike, coercing him to empty his pockets. Subsequently, the boy informed real law enforcement officers that a second car had arrived with a man matching the description of someone previously apprehended for impersonating an officer just 2 weeks prior. These incidents underscore the need for vigilance and caution, even in encounters with those who appear to be law enforcement officers. If you reside in or around Virginia during the 1970s, chances are you encountered the chilling legend of the Bunny Man. According to the tale, an escaped mental patient roamed the area, gruesomely gutting bunnies and hanging them from a bridge underpass. As the legend goes, the Bunny Man escalated to hanging teens in a similar manner, instilling fear among locals who were warned to steer clear of the underpass, now famously dubbed Bunny Man Bridge, especially on Halloween night. This eerie narrative likely originated from the presence of a real-life disturbed individual in the area. In October 1970, a couple reported encountering a man clad in a white suit and bunny ears, who aggressively accused them of trespassing on private property. To emphasize his point, he hurled a hatchet at their windshield, reportedly shattering it. Another sighting of the Bunny Man occurred 2 weeks later, when a security guard observed a hatchet-wielding figure tampering with a porch railing. Despite police efforts to locate the individual, they were unsuccessful. While the Bunny Man never carried out the gruesome acts attributed to him in the legend, the image of an adult brandishing both a hatchet and rabbit ears remains deeply unsettling. The Legend of Polybius, a coin-operated arcade game rumored to have had bizarre effects on players in early 1980s Portland, has captivated vintage video game enthusiasts for years. According to the stories, players of Polybius reported experiencing disorientation, amnesia, addiction to the game, and even instances of suicide. The arcade cabinet was said to be painted entirely black, and mysterious men were rumored to visit arcades to collect information from the machine before vanishing into thin air. Many have speculated whether Polybius was part of a CIA experiment, perhaps stemming from the agency's MK Ultra program, which explored the effects of psychoactive drugs on unwitting subjects. However, there is no concrete evidence to support such claims, and the existence of Polybius itself remains shrouded in mystery and urban legend. While the story of Polybius continues to intrigue and inspire speculation among gamers and conspiracy theorists alike, its true origins and purpose remain elusive, adding to its mystique as one of gaming's most enduring mysteries. Imagine finding yourself outside alone in the dark on a residential street. The quiet is shattered by approaching footsteps. Suddenly, a figure emerges from the shadows, his face misshapen and eerie. Instinctively, you flee, gripped by a terror words cannot express. The tale of the man with no face spreads like wildfire throughout Pennsylvania. This figure, known as Charlie No Face or the Green Man, was not a creation of imagination, but a real person named Ray Robinson. Born in 1910, Robinson suffered disfigurement at the tender age of 8 due to an electrical accident. His encounter with live wires left him permanently maimed. Aware that his appearance could unsettle others, Robinson would take solitary strolls after nightfall. His chosen path often led him along Route 351 in Beaver County, Pennsylvania. Despite his benign intentions, encountering Robinson in the darkness inevitably spawned tales of a spectral figure haunting the town. Robinson passed away in 1985, leaving behind a legacy tinged with both tragedy and misunderstood legend. The story of Elmer McCurdy, a notorious outlaw, took a bizarre turn following his death. In 1911, McCurdy's embalmed body became a macabre attraction across Texas, as it was displayed in funeral parlors and carnivals, drawing curious onlookers eager to catch a glimpse of the infamous criminal. Despite the difficulty in tracing all his post-mortem travels, McCurdy eventually found himself in Long Beach, California. In a strange twist of fate, someone mistook McCurdy's preserved corpse for a prop. He was hung as a decoration in a funhouse at the New Pike amusement park, adding an eerie ambience to the park's attractions. The truth about his humanity remained hidden until 1976, when a crew member working on the set of The $6 Million Man, which was filming at the park, attempted to adjust him, inadvertently dislodging his very real arm.